What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Hoops Betting Hour. It is Sunday, June 13th, 2021. Hope you're all having a great day. I am the host, the big man on campus. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. We get another round of hoops today in the NBA. The playoffs continue to trudge forward. We've got two games today. And yes, we do actually have two games. Yesterday, I thought we had two games. We only had one. But we'll get into it here in just a second. As always, we're here every day breaking down the NBA card live at noon Eastern. Let's bring in our guest for today. He's normally here on a Sunday. It's the great Spread Astaire. Spread, how you doing today? What's happening?
Oh, I'm doing great today. Excited to talk some NBA basketball today, and pivotal Game 4 coming up here in Milwaukee. So I'm excited to see where you're going with this game because I think it's a really tough game to handicap.
Yeah, I actually have a few plays today I'm looking forward to talking about. I have not had great success with one of these series. I've had good success with the other. In fact, I think I've been on one of these teams all three games. So we'll get into it. We'll break it down. As many know, Spread is a tennis handicapper. Currently at the French Open, Novak Djokovic is a large favorite live to beat Stefanos Tsitsipas. We obviously saw a great match on, what was it, Friday? Even I watched it, and I don't watch tennis generally ever. But Spread, do you have anything on that match? What do you like there?
So I have Djokovic minus 4.5. It looked dead, but it might still be alive as he's won the third set 6-3. Now it's 2-0 in the fourth, so we'll see how it turns out. I had thought it was dead, and I was just watching and rooting for Stefanos for some new blood to enter the champions circle. But now it looks like my play might be alive. So it should be a lot of fun.
Seems as if you might be in a spot to maybe win that. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Also, Euro Cup. It's going on today. We have a game live right now, Macedonia and Austria. I do have a play on this match. I'm on both teams to score. Very early. We're only about 3 minutes in. England beat Croatia earlier today, 1-0. Croatia has very little. I thought we'd see a better product. And again, England's very good, but Croatia had very little going in the midfield. Just nothing going up front. Yesterday, we saw Finland beat Denmark. And again, I want to come out and say it. I haven't been on the air since then. I had a pretty insensitive tweet. I apologize if I offended anybody. As Spread, we know, we do this show every day at noon. I was on the air, and I didn't necessarily have my eye on the TV. I wasn't listening. I saw there was some sad scenes going on. I'd figured maybe Eriksson, had a leg injury or some sort where they didn't want to show it. And I quickly just thought as a gambler about something, and I tweeted it out. It's my apology. So, again, if you didn't see that yesterday, it was pretty insensitive. It was in poor taste for sure. But Spread, luckily, Mr. Eriksson is okay. It seems as if he's okay. And the game went on about a half hour later. So it's good to see him okay, right, Spread?
Yeah, man, and anyone getting on you, that's the thing about Twitter. It's just our live reactions, right? It's almost like trying to simulate a digital bar, right? Where we're just talking to the TV and stuff like that. And I thought it was cool. I saw what you had said afterwards, and a lot of people wouldn't, right? A lot of people would just delete and moved on. I thought that was really cool that you went ahead and acknowledged it and went ahead and moved forward. And then people who want to pile on after that, they're just going to pile on no matter what. So I wouldn't worry about them.
Listen, I guess for me, whenever I'm thinking of sports, or I'm always thinking about gambling. I'll be honest. I'm looking to have an edge, and I didn't understand exactly what happened. I still to this minute haven't watched what happened. I don't really need to see that. But again, probably should have looked at it for a minute or two and figured what was going on. But either way, I won't lie to you, Spread. I took Finland. Once the game came back, and it ended up working out. So. All right, let's get into the game we saw yesterday. And I didn't have the right side here. I thought we'd see a pretty close game. Sadly, though, unfortunately, the Utah Jazz just really didn't seem to care much about this game in the fourth quarter. and they got blown out. They lose the fourth quarter by 15 points. Really kind of struggling throughout. This was an ugly defensive performance for the LA Clippers, or for the Utah Jazz against the LA Clippers. Shout out to our guest yesterday, Ski Profit. Like the first half over, also like full game over. Both of them came in. So shout out to Ski. Great call there. But a very good performance by Kawhi Leonard. You also have a very good performance out of Paul George. Nick Batum was a factor. Reggie Jackson was a factor. And all of a sudden, the Clippers are doing what they do best: fall down 2-0 and make a effort to come back. So nice win yesterday for the Clippers. They win and cover.
Yeah, I mean, they did that, all-important adjustment of making their three-point shots. I mean, it's just sometimes it just comes down to that, right? I didn't really see a lot differently, strategy-wise that they did. Obviously, they gave Terrence Mann a little run. I thought he was effective after getting a DMP in Game 2. Slight little adjustments. But the main one was just the three-point shots were falling. And once they got the lead and they were able to inflict that scoreboard pressure, it was a nice wire-to-wire run for the Clippers, and why I think out of all the series remaining, that one I would say is the most up in the air, and I think it's the hardest one to call. Whereas in the other three, it seems like certain teams have a stranglehold there. So I'll be excited to see how that one turns out. Do you have any lean to who you think ends up taking it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stay on the Jazz.
Okay.
I think the Jazz, Quinn Snyder's good enough to make some adjustments, defensively. Look, they're going to get Mike Conley back. I don't know when that's going to be, but they need to get Mike Conley back. Hopefully, hopefully we get something from him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But, look, they weren't good defensively. Generally, good or great teams bounce back after poor offensive efforts. You had to figure the Clippers are going to win one or two of these games, but I trust the Jazz to find a way once they get back to Utah in Game 5 to get a win there. And, I think they still have very much control of this series, but, you're going to have those games. Offensively, I don't know. They weren't great, but, defensively they had a problem. It really, they could have scored 130 points and still lost. Yeah. They have to be better defensively. It's just that simple. But again,
are you concerned about Mitchell's ankle?
No. I mean, He still was able to get right to what we kind of expect. He hits his point total over last night again. I will kind of say that I'm going to, kind of point towards overs in this series. It doesn't seem like either team is real good defensively. Jazz have played a lot faster. So I think I'm going to definitely be leaning towards overs. Both these teams very efficient spread.
Yeah, definitely. So I like the overs to keep hitting too with the 3-point efficiency. I mean, two of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. And the Jazz lost last night, but I think they were still 40% from behind the arc, right? It wasn't like they were just clanking everything. So
right. No, exactly. And I think again, long term, these numbers are down, in the 220 still. We saw that in that West Coast series between Portland and Denver. We've seen it in series where the numbers are just a little too low. You look at going forward, Game 4, total 223.5. Again, kind of right at that number where it's just kind of too low. All right, let's get into today's action. We've got two games. Really like this setup. Again, Spread, maybe you can answer this because we were having a tough time understanding. So, Game 4 today with the Nets and Bucks, okay? They didn't travel. Mm-hmm. Why were there 3 days off between games 3 and 4 here?
I think they just want this coveted Sunday slot.
Yeah,
I think they just love this Sunday slot.
Sixers same way. Why aren't they playing today? I mean, that's the 3 games, 3 days as well. What's up with that?
On the Sixers, maybe they want the Hawks fans to be able to eat some Chick-fil-A up in there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Chick-fil-A is that's right. Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday, and Chick-fil-A is big down in that area. I think that's where they're based, as far as I know, in Atlanta. So, is that their stadium, Chick-fil-A Arena? Or?
No, it's just a joke. I don't think there's any other NBA stadium that has Chick-fil-A in the arena, though. So I always see all the Hawks fans posting about it.
It's their arena, State Farm Arena, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it used to be the Phillips Arena. It's right near CNN downtown, right in downtown. All right, let's get into the action today. 3:10 Eastern, Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Brooklyn up 2-1. Brooklyn laying 2 here. Total is 228. Spread, we look at the other night. An ugly, ugly basketball game. Just kind of one of those outlier games. But we look for as bad as the Nets played, for as very few shots as they were able to make, for as poorly as Kyrie and Kevin Durant played, they still almost won the game. They had an opportunity at the end to win the game. Look, the problem the Bucks have here is they're just not very good offensively in this series. Too much isolation basketball. We talked about it the other night. I think they really miss a guy like DiVincenzo in this kind of series. You know, they're missing out on another 15-ish points a game, and they're not getting it from Connaughton or Bryn Forbes or some of those auxiliary pieces that they have. Middleton has been off and on this series. We saw him obviously on in Game 3, and he's really the difference in the series. And if he doesn't go on tonight, in that game, this is a possible sweep here for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm comfortable with believing that Brooklyn is just better offensively than Milwaukee. I think we all know that. I've not been a fan of watching Milwaukee in this series. I think obviously you're going to need to get something out of Drew Holiday. He's not been great really. I just look at Brooklyn. I look at KD. I look at Irving. I don't think we see 2 off games in a row for those two. Short and sweet for me here. I'm taking Brooklyn. I played 1.5. I'm playing that here. I think Brooklyn wins, and I think they take control of the series and close it out in the next game. I thought Milwaukee was lucky to win Game 3, and I'll gladly we saw them also as 3.5-point favorites in Milwaukee. The whole world was on Brooklyn, and Brooklyn still got the job done. I think in these series we're starting to realize that sharps lose. The squares win occasionally. There's really nothing. Also, let's point out, in this series, folks, you look at the isolation problems. You also look at the shooting issues. Milwaukee is 20 for 88 from 3 in this series. And that's under 23%. That's horrific. I mean, I'm confident, Spread, that if you gave me 90 3-point shots, I think I can make 25. I mean, like truly. It's just bad. I mean, it's bad shooting. I don't think that's going to be fixed anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because it's not like the Nets are playing like perimeter defense and they're shooting a bunch of contested threes. They are missing the same wide open threes that they made during the regular season. Another thing I think is interesting about this game is a 5-point line move from Game 3 to now.
Good point.
And that's wild to me because so originally when I went in, I said, okay, that 3.5-point line is wrong. But it wasn't wrong. It came out to be the perfect line. It closed at 3, and it finished at 3, right? So I'm just surprised that when they nailed the line so much, that they moved it this much. It's not like we have injury news, like, right? James Harden isn't coming back. Jeff Green's not coming back. I'm really surprised that this line moved that way. But at the same time, I feel it's correct because I thought that the other line was wrong for Game 3. I was surprised that Milwaukee was the favorite, right? After just getting blown out in Brooklyn, right? Atlanta went home and they were still dogs to Philadelphia, and they had split with Philadelphia. I was really surprised by that. I'm with you here. I like Brooklyn. If you watch that game, it really felt like Milwaukee gave the best that they could have, and they were still only able. Basically, Bruce Brown getting nervous and blowing a layup, right, and overthinking it and moving too quickly. They could have lost that game there. I'm with you here. I like Brooklyn, and we need to talk about the fact that the game went like 60 points under the closing number. How do you not go back to the under here, Jeff? Can you make a case for the over?
Oh, look, I mean, I think in a perfect world, I mean, both these teams pace-wise are pretty good. Offensively, we figure they're both deficient. But, yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of envision an over after that game the other night. That was ugly. But I think if you're looking at points in an over standpoint in any realm, I think there's one bet to make, and it's Kevin Durant. Hunter's saying over 35 points today, plus, plus 136. You look at his average in 3 games this year against the Milwaukee Bucks, 35 points a game. He's shooting 49% and 52% from 3. Adding the fact that he's averaging almost a double-double in those games. You look at offensively right now, I mean, without James Harden, Kevin Durant is the is the initiator. We all know that. Let's look at boosts. Are there any boosts for
Yeah, I was
Kevin
gonna say,
Durant?
does FanDuel have some of those? Because those
Yeah.
have been fantastic
Okay, here we
to
go.
take
Here we go.
advantage of.
Kevin Durant to score 35 or more points, and Kyrie Irving to make 4 or more threes, plus 350. Um, might have to get in on. I think for me, I'm kind of not in love with that, but I am in love with possibly taking a shot with that Kevin Durant over 35 points at plus 136. Keep in mind, in 3 games, Kyrie Irving has these were his 3-point numbers: 2 for 8, 4 for 8, 3 for 11. So over 4. I mean, he's only got 2 for once. You're hoping to expect a better 3-point night from him tonight, but I like Kevin Durant over 35 points. That is some interest to me. We also obviously with FanDuel, you can do the same game parlay, which is great. If you just do Brooklyn to win and over 35 points for Kevin Durant, plus 240. Not bad. Not bad. But I like Brooklyn here. I laid 1.5. I'm going to play the Nets. I expect a better shooting night for them tonight, obviously. And I expect a continued poor shooting series for Milwaukee.
Jeff, would you also look at a Joe Harris prop? Right, he had an absolutely terrible game. Are you expecting him to bounce back? I was actually circling Joe Harris too as a guy that he improves, and that's another path to victory there for Brooklyn.
Yeah, without James Harden, Joe Harris kind of takes on a Seth Curry type of role for the Nets. We saw it with Steph and him kind of always being around that 10 to 12 point range. But yeah, if you look at it in 3 games, 19, 13, and then obviously a bad game. So, at a point total tonight at 12.5, I think there's some value there to grab. Joe Harris, I think for them to be what they want to be, he's got to kind of pick up some sort of role as a quasi third or fourth scorer for them. So yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet. I wouldn't be betting it under. There's a goal. Beautiful. How about that? Goal, goal, goal. Sorry, we're doing this live. Austria scores. Beautiful. They were peppering Macedonia here, so that's good news for both teams to score. All right, Spread. So what do you matter of fact, we'll wait. Let's wait to the end. We'll get a best bet from you or get something to play from you. But I like the Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna come back to the well with them and play this one. I took 1.5. All right, next game. Let's go to the other game. Phoenix and Denver. If you follow me on Twitter, you know where I'm going with this one. I've been on Phoenix every game in this series. I'm not jumping off the wagon. In fact, I bet this one, Thursday night or whenever the last game was between these two. I laid 2. It's up to 3. And look, I'll be real frank with you. I don't really have any issue with 3 either. The truth of the matter is, do we see any reason to believe that the Denver Nuggets are going to win a game here? What have they shown in any game that they have the ability to win here? The Phoenix Suns have done an absolutely excellent job with really shutting down everyone else. And the truth of the matter is the Nuggets just don't really have anyone else. Michael Porter's injured. Campazzo and Rivers just aren't good enough. Monte Morris isn't trustworthy, though he has played pretty well. Will Barton's just coming off an injury. You don't have the ability to go to Jeremy Grant, Gary Harris, and Jamal Murray. You have to go through Jokic, and the Suns know that. The Suns are just way better. This is sweep. It says sweep written all over it. I'm not getting off the wagon with the Suns. I think this team is really good. I think they're hitting their stride right now. Spread, has there been any reason to believe that the Nuggets are going to get off the mat and somehow punch back? We look at in 3 games. Let's just look at them here quickly. First game, 122-105. Suns absolutely controlled the game. Really after the first quarter. Game 2, Suns rolled 98. And in game 3, a game where the Nuggets were favored, Suns win 116-102. As they say in England, when I used to do soccer shows with Flash, whenever a team had given up for the season, Flash would say, their bags are packed and they're on the beach.
Yeah.
The Nuggets are done. Lay it with the Suns.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Unfortunately, this series, and it's a theme this season, right? When they tried to cram 72 games into a month and a half less, the injuries have come home to roost again here. And when Michael Porter Jr.'s back wasn't 100%, that pretty much sealed the Nuggets' fate. Uh, no one can do it on their own, right? LeBron can't do it on his own. Steph can't do it on his own. Jokic can't do it on its own, right? This is a team game, and it's coming home to roost again. So we see without Michael Porter Jr., they don't have a quality second option. Aaron Gordon has really been disappointing for some. He's a NorCal guy. I've been
Taking a lot of bad shots.
yeah, I've been a big fan of him, and he really hasn't showed up here. He really needs to be like a number 4 on a championship contender team and not a 2. It's just too much for him. And, credit to Portland for making those backup guards look like they could play. But now we're seeing why Rivers was available on the waiver wire, and Composite took about 12 years to make it to the NBA after being a big star in Argentina. So I agree with you here. I'm on the Suns. I really think it's too bad. I mean, I think that a healthy team. If Porter Jr. was healthy, I think this series looks a little different, but he's not. And without that second scoring option, they simply can't keep up. But let's not all say that, hey, injuries, because this Suns team is so well built. The more I've watched them, the more I just have to give GM James Jones credit for just the way that he's built this team, and give Monty Williams and Chris Paul credit for the development of DeAndre Ayton. He's been absolutely fantastic here. He's so good in the post against Jokic. Jokic is good on the pick and pop, but with no one else to play off of, when they bring him out of the paint, it's just not working for him. So I'm completely with you here. I like the Suns. I didn't get involved in the total here. I'm just going to play the side, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a fairly easy one. I agree with you and Flash. The bags are packed, and I hope they enjoy their vacation.
Yeah, it's kind of something that I think when we watch these shows and we watch this series, I mean, it's been pretty evident, right? There's just a large gulf in talent between Booker and Paul and Composite Rivers and Monty Morris, right? You look at some of the pieces that, as you mentioned, with the ownership and the management that have been brought in, making a absolutely shrewd highway robbery, armed robbery, grand theft larceny, grand larceny, whatever, of getting Mikal Bridges for Zaire Smith on draft night a few years ago. Zaire Smith ain't even in the league anymore. Mikal Bridges is a high-level defender, a big-time piece. Also, when I did Big Men on Basketball, we did an NBA preview, and I think we had Ski Profit on, and I remember highlighting, we talked about some of our favorite free agent acquisitions. One of my favorites was Jay Crowder, because I think at this age, Jay Crowder is still a high-level defender. You could put him and Bridges on the wings and say, get stops. And Crowder can still guard LeBron. He can still guard people. He averages, gives you a good average. I like their bench because they have some guys in like Frank Kaminsky and just guys that, Saric, they're just going to give you offense. They're not real great defenders, but they don't necessarily need to be because you're starting 5 with Ayton and Bridges and Crowder and all these guys are so good defensively. Plus, you have a Hall of Fame point guard, and you have one of the best scorers in the NBA. This team, we have to start talking about. They're a bona fide title contender. They can beat anybody left. They need to start being regarded as that. And I know, as NBA fans, a lot of Donnie Wrightsed's a prime example. Donnie Wrightsed doesn't want to turn the page and say, it's time to give the new blood some credit, whether it's the Hawks or the Suns or the Jazz. It's time to start doing that. This is an impressive sweep, especially a possible sweep against the MVP in the NBA. So shout out to the Suns. They're going to get the job done today. We both agree. Suns -2 or 3 is the play here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I'm not going to get involved of the total. I'm seeing it 221 right now. Kind of for my game script, I guess I lean under because I do expect it to be a blowout. And it'll be interesting to see how many minutes Malone gives all his starters there in the fourth if they are down by 10 or 15. I assume that he's going to go down with the ship, and that would probably help the over. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game went under.
Yeah, and that's why you can't play props in this game. I mean, obviously, you'd assume Jokic is worthy here, right? Maybe you want to go back to the well with him, but and he's going to obviously have to give you 30, 35. But the problem is, if this game is, 115-95 late, with 4 or 5 minutes to go, he's coming out. Or even at the start of the fourth quarter. I saw that the other night with Seth Curry. Damn it. That was so close to a goal. And we didn't see it. So, yeah, you got to watch yourself with props. Props are really tough just because of, at the end of the third quarter, Michael Malone has made it clear he'll rest players if he needs to. We are into the fifth set between Novak Djokovic and Stefanos Tsitsipas. Spread, are you feeling good about your bet or?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it now. I think that he's taken over. Too bad the nerves have definitely got to Tsitsipas after he got out to the first 2 sets. So maybe we were a little early crowning a new champion on Twitter this morning.
Yeah, agreed. I will throw out one thing before we get to the rest of the Euro card. I do like the Yankees today in baseball. I played that plus 100, fading the Phillies here. I'm going to fade Aaron Nola. I'm going to kind of keep fading Aaron Nola. I don't think Nola's – people in this town act like he's Cy Young. He's just a bona fide number one. He's not. In fact, he's been pretty bad over his last 10-ish starts. He's got an ERA close to 5. I like Herman. He's been very good recently for the Yanks. This is a Phillies team that is topsy-turvy occasionally offensive. They've had a lot of close wins recently. I don't love their bullpen. And I like Herman. 3 or fewer runs in 9 of his last 9 outings, 10 of the last 11. I'm going to back Herman today. I think the Yankees get a win here over the Phillies. So I'm playing that. Don't play a ton of baseball. However, when I see a spot that I like, I play it. So that's a goal. Is that a goal, Spread? Holy hell. Is that a goal? Winner, winner, winner. Come on. What the hell happened there? What a goal.
I don't know. I have tennis on my TV right now.
What happened there? I swear that you got to get this on, Spread, ESPN. What the hell happened? Gordon Pando. What happened there? I thought the goalie had it. I thought he covered it. It must have spurred it out. What a gift. We'll take it. 3-0 in the Euros. Let's go. Come on.
There you go.
Goran Pandov, the legend. Let's go. Bisser Balkanski, Macedonia. Come on. I got to see the replay there. This is great. Love the live stuff. Look at this, Fred. I swear what is the goalie doing there? Oh, Minka. What a gift.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We'll take it all day. That's what you need when you have both teams to score. Hell yes. Come on. Okay, Spread.
Jeff, let me get your thoughts on your hometown team.
Oh, the Sixers.
That's the one that we didn't discuss, and that's tomorrow night. And, of course, I'll be watching you, and it's blackjack tomorrow morning, right? So I'll be watching that. So you'll get the full breakdown then. But give us a sneak preview. How are you feeling about the Sixers? Pretty dominant victory. I personally thought that the Hawks were going to go home, take advantage of a friendly whistle, and keep it close and maybe win. I'm not necessarily surprised they lost. I am surprised they got blown out. What did you think of that one?
Well, it's funny because in Philadelphia, it's see what happens when the Hawks don't shoot 8,000% from 3.
Yeah.
Look, the Sixers have taken control of the series. If they win tomorrow night, they're going to close it out. Wait, when is this game? Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night. I think it'll be at 8 your time.
Yeah. So
7:30.
I think they get. Look, this is going to be the best effort from the Hawks. Listen, the Hawks are missing DeAndre Hunter. It's sad they don't have him. Yeah. I think he would really help on the wing defensively, but they can't guard Joel Embiid. I think you probably just kind of keep going back to the well with some sort of combo with him in some way. It's not a closeout game. I don't expect they blow up per se, but when you're looking at this line here, I mean, I feel like I'm going to hope for 4.5. I still want to give the Hawks one more piece of credit. I mean, keep in mind they've lost one game since April 15th at home. That's pretty impressive. That's 2 months you've lost one game at home. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Sixers have made some adjustments. They've been better defensively, done a better job on Trae Young. But I think the Hawks kind of know it's 2-1. Okay, they've already shown they can win one game. We'll see. I'm interested in seeing where this line goes. What do you think on it?
Yeah, I think after seeing that, I think that Philly's taking control here. And I mean, Joel Embiid is so good because I think Capella's like a top five defensive center, right? And
Yeah,
he's
and he's
just
dominating him.
he's getting everything he wants. And so I can't take anything away from Capella because I've watched him all year be an effective rim protector, understand his role in the defense and change shots and make that Hawks defense go from pretty bad to pretty good. So just because to me, the best center in the NBA is working them is not a big surprise to me. But there's no answer to that matchup. You can't double. He used to be bad about passing to the double teams. Just becoming average like he has this year is such a huge weapon. I don't think that they miss Danny Green in this series. I think that next series, I think they'll miss him a bit, where they would just want to like throw wing defenders, wing defenders, wing defenders. So I'll be interested to see how that turns out as well. But
Yeah, that kind of helps them, right?
I think for this series it does just get him off the floor because I think that you'd rather have the shooters because he wasn't doing an effective job defensively against Trey anyways.
Here's the thing, and this is where I continue to go back to the Sixers and say, like, is this way of playing sustainable? Okay, we go back to game, what was it, 2. What did Shake Milton have? 14 points. It was basically the difference in a game. You look at the game the other night. I'm not going to knock anything, but you got, 15 from Korkmaz.
Yeah.
These ancillary pieces did a lot. But I will say I will be back to the well with Seth Curry. That continues to be a good bet to me. I know it didn't win the other night, but I'm okay with it. It was right there, and we lost on a blowout. But we'll see. I think obviously you're going to get your best test tomorrow night from Atlanta. You're going to have to need it. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to see where this number goes. I think we see one more last gasp from Atlanta. All right. Let's do one more thing here. We got one more Euro match today, 3 o'clock Eastern, Netherlands and the Ukraine. The Ukraine, obviously, over the years have had some good players. Obviously, Shevchenko, was a great player. Now he's the manager. They still have Yarmolenko. I think he's a guy that if he can get free, kind of like in this game with a guy like Pendev, I think you've got to expect for him to be kind of a tough matchup. But I don't think Ukraine can really keep Netherlands at bay either. I mean, the Netherlands are really good. I mean, Memphis Depay is terrific. They've got some real players that can go forward. We've seen kind of a renaissance of Holland soccer. For a few years they'd kind of been down in the dumps, but with some of their talent that they have now, you obviously have to remember as well. Virgil van Dijk's not going to play, arguably the best defender in the world, so that helps in the fact that for Ukraine they might have some more opportunities to score. Keep in mind, not only do you have Depay, but you have Klaassen and Wijnaldum and De Jong. I mean, this is Davy Blind. This is a very good side. I mean, very good side. And I think, offensively, we're going to see plenty of goals in this game. I'm going to come back to something with a selection here. I'm probably going to look towards both teams to score again. I think with guys like Yarmolenko and the way Ukraine kind of press forward, I think we see some goals in this match. So I'm going to look at something like that. But I will update it when we get closer to the match. Spread, have you played any soccer? Are you a soccer guy or no?
I enjoy it. I don't handicap it at all. I will tail other people though. To me, it's one of the most relaxing sweats you can have in gambling. I mean, there's they all laugh because I'll tail people on MLS, but like I enjoy having it on, especially while I'm doing my handicapping for NBA. I might be reading The Athletic or just diving through some subreddits, things like that, and I do enjoy having it on. But I don't handicap it at all. I only take other people's plays. So I'll probably be taking some of your plays as you post them, and you seem to be off to a great start.
Yeah, pretty happy with it. 3-0 so far, and we'll keep firing forward. I really enjoy the Euros. I think it's probably the best tournament in the world outside of March Madness. Let's go through a couple of comments here and say hello. Akbar Solayov says soccer's tough because draws kill you. Well, that's why you avoid those. But yeah, you got to know how to bet soccer. That's important. Dexter Rojas, thanks for watching. Sam Calmer, thanks for watching. Hey, Sam, interesting seeing you here after your decree that Turkey was a high-level defense and got absolutely punished on Friday to Italia. But credit to you for coming back and saying hello. Knuckles Sandwich, he's been very kind on the internet, saying hello. Nice to see you. Yeah, so all you guys. Ethan, thanks for watching. Hunter, thanks for watching. If you're checking it out on the replay, which a lot of people do, thank you for watching. Spread, let us know where we can find you, what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm at Spread Astaire over on Twitter, and you can basically catch all my content there. Of course, I do NBA daily, and as NBA is winding down, the tennis handicapping is ramping up. So I might be recording a podcast a little later today. We'll be previewing the WTA grass tournaments going on this week, and we got a short grass season, 3 weeks till the run-up to Wimbledon. So catch me at Spread Astaire. You'll find NBA and tennis content.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. As always, check out Spread Astaire at Spread Astaire. Again, Spread, just like Spread, Astaire like Fred. Go check that out, Spread Astaire. Good stuff. Also, please check out the Sit Down Crime and Mafia podcast. We're 10 episodes in. Over 75,000 listens in all. I'm very happy with how the show's done. We got a big episode coming up this week. We did a good episode last week on Carmine Persico. We got Whitey Bulger there. We got John Gotti. We've got Nicky Scarfo. We've got Vincent Gigante. We've got the Black Mafia, Tommy Patera, Joe Messino, all sorts of guys. And I wanted to address something. Someone commented last night and said, why do you keep talking about rats on the show? Well, look, we talk about Mafia history. We talk about whether you ratted or not, people part of Mafia history. And in 10 episodes, we've done 3 episodes involving an informant. That's a pretty good percentage, 70% non. We just have to do what we have to do, Spread. There's so many people to talk about, obviously with mob movies and reviews and all sorts of different things. We've got a lot of things coming. I have big plans for this show. So make sure you check out the Sit Down if you enjoy Mafia history. Check that out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Spread, I know you're a big mob fan.
I was going to say, you're in a rock and a hard place. Without informants, I don't know how much we'd even know, right? Yes. I loved reading all the books. God, I can't remember the guy's name off the top of his head, but the guy that had infiltrated, who was the New York guy before?
Donnie
Paul.
Brasco?
No, Paul. Who's Big Paul before Gotti?
Paul Castellano.
Yeah. The guy that had infiltrated his house and put the bug right in there.
Yeah. They
didn't get nearly as much information as they did as soon as Sammy Gravano started spilling the beans.
Well, yeah. And look, listen, I've said before, like, I think if you play in dirt, you get dirty. And if you are in that life, you've got to accept the consequences. But the truth of the matter is just part of it, man. There's a lot of guys that want to tell stories and do what they do. And I think from a compelling standpoint, it's very compelling. So do I agree with what they did? Absolutely not. I'm not in the mafia. So, I can have an opinion and be objective. They're not people that I would want to talk to personally, as far as I would want to have an interview with them, but I wouldn't be friends with them or anything. But they have to do what they have to do. I think every situation's different. We talk about the history. It's part of the history. It's just part of it. So thanks for checking it out. If you enjoy that kind of stuff, go check it out. All right, we are out of here. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the games today. Let's get the best bets. I'm going Brooklyn. I played the 1.5. I'm playing that. I also like the Phoenix Suns. I played the 2. I'm going with both favorites today. That could be tough, but we'll rock with it. Spread, what do you like?
All right, give me Brooklyn. Give me the under in the Brooklyn game. I know it's 228. I know it's down 12 points since the opener. I just don't see it happening, especially a game script we could see of a blowout. We'll go under as well here as well. And I didn't play a total for the evening game, but unfortunately, I like the Nuggets. I was rooting for them, but I think this is the end of the road tonight. Cue up boys to men. I think Phoenix covers the -3. So I'm on Brooklyn, the under in the Nets game, and I'll take the Phoenix Suns.
So you just make an end of the road reference?
Yeah, we got to throw out some older references here.
That's good stuff. By the way, I never do this, but I've had an inkling maybe to do it. Tomorrow is Monday, as we know. Sixers playing Atlanta tomorrow. I can be in Atlanta in 2 hours on a flight. I could stay over, and I could watch the game tomorrow. Do I do that?
I would. What a fun
Just me.
opportunity.
Only me.
Yeah.
By myself, a whirlwind. I
I th-
never do
I
things like that.
I
But
think that
I've
would
been
be great fun.
But I've planned to do that more and more because I want to get out and live a little bit.
Yeah.
I can stay right at the Omni, which is right next to the stadium, for pretty cheap, and which I don't really care that much about. I just want the hotel to be nice, and I can go to the game and I can spend, frankly, tickets are pretty cheap, frankly. So
Yeah. I think it'd be great fun for you. And also, you're a pretty recognizable Philadelphia sports personality, so I bet you'll have a lot of fun in the arena, right? I mean,
I'm gonna think about this. I don't ever do.
If you
stuff
do,
like
I
this
expect to
stuff.
see a Periscope or just some stuff from.
Well, I
live
can't
inside
do
the arena.
Periscope anymore. It sucks, man. Periscope's been deleted. It sucks.
But I mean, we can still go live on Twitter, right? It's just Twitter Live right now, right? Isn't it? Almost
no,
the same?
you don't have any. There's no video. Twitter Spaces is only audio. It sucks.
Oh, I thought we were going live on Twitter.
I'm gonna look into it. If I can fly to Harrisburg, I might do it. I might do it.
Well, let us know. That I think that would be a lot of fun. And like I said, I think that you'll have a great time down there, and probably get some friendly stuff from the Atlanta fans too.
Yeah.
Because I think you will be recognized. I mean, you're pretty well known.
I mean, listen. Not to be arrogant, but Donnie Wrights can attest to this. When I've been with him, people have recognized me in the street. So
yeah.
Hey, look, if you're a sports bettor, you might follow Barstool.
Yeah.
You might know who I am.
I mean, I think you started your Twitter account like 2 days after Twitter formed, right? I mean, you've been on since
pretty
the very
early.
beginning,
I've
right?
been on for a long time,
Yeah.
man. And I still make stupid mistakes on the internet.
Hey, we all do, right? That's why when people are getting on you about that, it's like he made a mistake and he apologized. Like, come on, guys, like.
Well, that's a good thing for
this happens when we react in real time.
When people don't like you, that's what they do. They look
they
for
just wait for you to make a mistake.
Any issue, any knock in your armor, right? They want to be on it. But I guess I could also say I could probably go to game 5 in Philadelphia and not travel at all, right? I could be with all my friends, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll.
Which one do you think would be more fun? I think it'd be more fun to go down to Atlanta, right? I mean, you're in Philadelphia all the time.
It would be, but I will say I've been once at an opposing arena for my favorite team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that fun. I mean, it's not great.
Yeah.
I guess you can have fun with it, but I'll figure it out. I'm going to do one of the two. I know that. So.
Well, it'll be interesting. I think I'm going to go down to Las Vegas to see the Raiders play the Eagles, and I'm going to be surprised to see how many Philadelphia fans
there will be
fill
a lot.
that up. Yeah,
There'll
I
be
think
a
it's
lot.
going to be like 50-50. So
I will say
that should be
also,
fun.
I think the tough thing about doing what I said I wanted to do is I got to do this show. I get paid. I get paid the big bucks to do this show, so I got to do it. So we'll see. Either way, I will probably be at Game 5. That's actually probably a foregone conclusion. That's
how expensive are the tickets for Game 5? Like, is the markup ridiculous, or is there still a little hesitancy for people to get out?
Let me take a look. I'm actually on the thing right now, so let me take a look here. Atlanta Hawks and Sixers on Wednesday in Philadelphia. I can sit lower level. How much you think it is?
Lower level, like 275.
Nah, like 250.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty good guess by me.
Which for a closeout game, possibly, or I mean, it's going to be a big game in both realms. So,
right.
I've kind of made my decision. I will be there. I'm 50 minutes away. I'll be there. I will be in the arena, Game 5, and I'll tell you what, the money I would have spent on a hotel and a flight, I'm going to put in to get the best ticket possible for this game. The best ticket possible.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, at least,
me.
that there's a Game 5 for sure.
And you know you know what I might do? Yeah. I might just sit behind the Atlanta Hawks bench. Because Ryan, my co-host on the Big Men on Basketball, this is a good story. Before the pandemic, 2019, him and I went to Heat Sixers. The Sixers hadn't lost at home for a while. We sat right behind the Heat bench, right behind it. Bro, I got into Udonis Haslem a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah. And matter of fact, this is a good story. Udonis Haslem called me fat as fuck. Pardon my language. Not even kidding. Because I was huge at that time. Yeah. But I was jawing it at Udonis Haslem. Duncan Robinson, all those guys.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm out of here. Spread's out of here. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the Hoops Betting Hour. We're here every day at noon Eastern, breaking down the NBA and everything going on in sports. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow here on the show. Thanks, Spread.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jeff.
See you later, everybody.